Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters challenge. We have two blended Scotch whiskeys. This is Clan MacGregor, introduced in 1930, or produced in Scotland naturally by William Grant and Sons. They're all produced in Scotland if they're Scotch, but it is bottled in New Jersey. And I was looking at some old magazine advertisements for it, saying it's as good as all the other scotches, but it's cheaper because we bottle it in New Jersey. We save shipping costs and all of that. Okay, so that's the concept behind this. Clan MacGregor blended Scotch whiskey, product of Scotland, shows a lion's head, blended in Scotland, distilled, aged, and blended in Scotland. But on the back, it talks about New Jersey. A blend of our finest malt and grain whiskeys, a complex, sweet and mellow flavor. And there's some medals that it never won. They like to put these medals on these inexpensive Scotch whiskeys, and they never say anything. Just like they're like faux, they're fake. Panther's Rule says you. Saying back to you. 100% Scotch whiskeys, which would be required to be Scotch. Clan MacGregor blended Scotch whiskey combines the qualities of exceptional taste and fine flavor. So they spell flavor two different ways. On the back, they spell flavor the American way. But on the front, they spell it flavor the British Commonwealth way. So if you go to Canada, they have flavors and colors, but we have flavors and colors. All right. So strange that the bottle would spell it two different ways. Well, I guess it's produced in two different countries, essentially. So, the last stage of production, the bottling is done in America. I'm in America. Age 3 years. And it runs about, let's say, $11. Here's Dewar's 15-year aged, introduced in 1998, aged 15 years, obviously. And it's about $39.99, about $40. So do you think it's going to be $29 better? Is it really going to be $29 better? And this is produced under a royal warrant. Dewar's 15-year age, the Monarch, is produced under a royal warrant from the Monarch of Scotland, Queen Elizabeth II, as an official whiskey of the royal family of Scotland, Northern Ireland, Gibraltar, the British territories on the island of Cyprus, the British Indian Ocean Territory, the Falkland Islands, Jamaica, Cuba, the Turks and Caicos Islands, and other various realms around the world. Okay, Clan MacGregor is not made under a royal warrant. Although I think its motto is "Royal is my race." Royal is my race. So they're a royal race of people, these MacGregors. Listening on my morning walk, hoping I don't get rained on, Bubba. I hope you don't get rained on either. Thanks for watching, or I should say thanks for listening. Most people just listen to these things. It's more like a radio show than a video. Arvind Biz Taiwan. Hi, Ron. Cheers. Clan MacGregor tastes a bit harsh, but yes, good for the price. Definitely a mixer. Yeah, I agree. Okay. The first Scotch I ever tried. Now, I got to be careful. Now, one thing I noticed about Clan MacGregor is very light. It's more like straw than gold. It's a very light color, like you would see straw in a barn, which I guess is a type of very light gold, like white, what people call white gold. Now, this is amber gold. So this is a deep gold, the 15-year age. You say, well, it's age 15 years. It's going to be darker than a 3-year age. Well, yeah, but I got some 3-year-old scotches that are dark as this. And why is that? Because they're probably adding caramel coloring, the world's most popular food coloring, because it has no odor and no flavor. It's designed to be that way, just to have the color. Yeah, I know it's made from brown sugar, but it doesn't look like the Clan MacGregor has any coloring added. It's in a green bottle. It's being used as a mixer anyway for most people. It's inexpensive. Most people that pay in $12 for Clan MacGregor or $16.99 for the handle, the big boy bottle, they probably don't care about the color. You know what I mean? It's like, and they're not going to sit there and put it in a glass and swirl it in the light and say, "Oh, look at the intricate visual character of this Scotch." They're not doing that. So the company's trying to cut costs as much as they can with this product, bottling it in Edison, New Jersey. And so they probably say, don't even spend the money for the coloring. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Another Quaalude should love me in the morning. So I kind of like the fact that they're not adding coloring, because these things would be very pale, very, very pale. You might say, well, how can bourbon be so dark? And it's only sometimes 2 years old. Straight bourbon only has to be 2 years old. How could it be so dark? Because, and even though they're not allowed to add coloring, and that's because they're using fresh, never before used charred oak barrels. And the charcoal, that gives it that reddish brown, rust red color. See? And it's fresh, so nothing's ever been in it before. So it sucks the color right up. But that goes right into the liquid, apparently, the first 2-3 years. After that, it doesn't really get any darker. And then with the blended Scotch, you're almost always aging it in used bourbon barrels, ex-wine barrels of some sort, and those kind of things. So even less of a chance they're going to pick up color. And many times they add color to make it look darker than it really is. Because remember, whiskey is clear when it's poured into a barrel. It's not even whiskey at that point. It's simply grain spirits. It becomes whiskey by virtue of aging. So if you never aged it, it would not be whiskey. You could take two products, same grain bill, same alcohol level. Take one, and when you're finished with production, don't age it, put it in a bottle. The other one, age it and put it in a bottle. And one would be whiskey, one would be grain spirits. You could sell it as like moonshine, your my moonshine brand. But it would not be whiskey. Somebody wrote me a message the other day about bourbon. Somebody was challenging him on bourbon and Tennessee whiskey, and I said, no, he's wrong and you're right. All right, this tastes very honey, wood. It's nice. See, the Clan MacGregor, though, has like some peated flavor. It's like they're using some peated malt in their blend, like single malt peated single malt whiskey. It's probably 80% grain whiskey, but it doesn't matter. The single malts they're blending in, they do have some character. So and I think I'm noticing that here. It's not smoky like Don't think, oh yeah, I love a smoky Scotch. Well, don't buy either one of these because you're not going to get the smoke. So that's not there. But the Clan MacGregor has like a like old wood. I asked my daughter one time, "Did you store these glasses in an old cabinet?" I thought the glass that we were drinking out of had picked up some old furniture smell, but it was actually the Scotch whiskey in it. Now, I had never had Scotch before, and Clan MacGregor has that old wood, almost like compost pile smell. You say, "Oh, in a garden." That could have fish heads in it, eggs, old eggshells, and all. I know, but some of these smell like that. And if you find out what peat is formed from, it makes sense. Question: $29 difference. I don't see it. There's a difference now. The one in my left hand is obviously the Clan MacGregor because it has that peated compost pile thing. But yeah, and it's so light. You can tell it's Clan MacGregor. Look how light it is. But I got tags underneath just to make sure. But in this case, I did not need tags. I had forgotten about the color difference. You say, but it's young. It's young. It's only 3 years old, and Dewar's is 15 years. So it makes a big difference. It makes a difference, but I'm not sure about. It doesn't make a $29 difference, in my opinion. You may disagree. It's fine. Clan MacGregor tastes a bit harsh, but okay. Liam Gillespie says Beatles or Stones. What's that got to do with this? What's that got to do with this taste challenge? I have every Beatles studio album. Okay, I do not have every Rolling Stones studio album. Although they probably a better band, when you think about the whole idea of it. You know what I'm saying? Probably ultimately they had better music, but I mean, of course, can't discount the Beatles, but I don't know. I'm not in either camp. Some people are very and they're like they love one and hate the other. I usually don't comment on your videos, says Arvin, but I have watched almost all of your whiskey taste challenges and whiskey reviews. Thanks for your content. Best wishes. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for watching. Beer Hounds Beer Review says hi, Ronnie. Hello, Bill. Thanks for watching from Southern California, where gasoline is only $11 a gallon. Thoughts on Bolete whiskey, says Liam. I know it's owned by Diageo, and I've never tried it. So my thoughts are I would like to try it. I see it everywhere, the rye, the bourbon. Yes, I'll be curious to try, but I'm so backlogged on stuff right now. It's going to be a long time before I get to it. I haven't bought gas in a month, says Bill. Yeah, I can understand. I have to buy lawnmower gas today. I hate to see that price for that unadulterated gas. I buy the pure gas for the lawnmower, no ethanol added, and be like $1 a blade for the grass, $1 for each blade, a penny a blade. All right. Which one do I prefer here? The Beatles broke up in 69. Well, 1970, but yeah, they started cracking in 69. Also, didn't have Rubber Soul and Revolver. Beatles were much better songwriters. Yes and no. It just depends on what you think, All right. Problem with the Beatles, you had too many people trying to be the captain. And only one person satisfied to be a follower. You know what I mean? Like part of the group, but not the leader of the group. Too many people trying to run the show. Rolling Stones, you had a clearly identified leader, and everybody else just said, okay, let him run it. We get money, so as long as the money's coming in. See, that's the problem. See, partnerships are a partnership is the worst business model anyway, because you're gonna have these disagreements. And when money's involved, it gets a lot worse. Now, business, when we disagree about beer, wine, and liquor, most level-headed people are like, oh, well, I don't agree. No big deal. But then you have fanatic. I'm not saying the Beatles or Rolling Stones ever had any fanatics like that. They didn't. But you have fanatics like that in the beer, wine, and liquor world. And if you disagree with them on beer, I'm going to block you. I'm going to unfriend you on Facebook. It's like, okay. You came to me a month ago, or you came to me 5 years ago talking about, I love your reviews. You've helped me so much and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, it's a little weird, but they'll just be like a puppy running behind you for years. And then you disagree with something. It's like, I'm not talking to you no more. It's like, I had a feeling you were kind of crazy to start with. But it doesn't matter because we're not in business together, so you got to kind of blow those kind of people off. But if you're in business, then it's worse. And if you're in a multi-million-dollar business like the Beatles Limited business business, was kind of a corporation. Well, then you got a problem. If you can't resolve the problems, you got a problem. The Rolling Stones resolved the problems, so it was never an insurmountable problem. Do you have Black Sabbath? Yes. Another example of partnership issues. Although you had a problem there with one kind of problematic member, let's say. Do you have a top 3 favorite Beatles tunes? No, I don't think so. Tomorrow Never Knows. It's all too much. You know what I mean? But the Beatles played in New Orleans in September 1964, right? And there was like a little riot that broke out during the concert, and they never came back. We put New Orleans on the do not play list. All right. Honestly, I think, I like the Dewar's better. It's a nicer product, more honey, and everything. But I'm not saying it's $29 better. I wouldn't pay $29 more for it. You might, I wouldn't. It's like $10 better. So the Clan MacGregor's $12, and the Dewar should be 22, not 40. In this comparison, okay, I don't see it. You see it, I don't see it. You might see it, I don't see it. Okay, but then to be fair, I said I did not see that the Dewar's 15-year was any better than the 12. It was better. Wasn't $14 better? No. No. I'm glad you like ELO as well, Ron. I like them all. They're okay. All right. I have 3 ELO albums. First printings, 1975 album, 76 and 77 album, right? Those 3. One with the electric chair on it and one with the spaceship. I did not buy those albums. Someone gave them to me. There's a complicated reason why, but I got a lot of LPs from him. I wish I'd have gotten some other ones. I didn't know about the bands at the time too much. I would have never bought the albums with you know what I mean? I have them because he gave them to me. They're okay, but I don't like them to go buy an album from them. I have the albums. I listen to them not often. Okay, so there's not much to say about them. They're okay if you like a group that tried to sound like the Beatles. They're fine. But to me, I'm not interested. Mama Bell is a great ELO song that is overlooked, says Chris B. I'm sure they have a lot of good songs that are overlooked, including Overlooked by Myself. And there's some songs on the albums that I have that are good, and I never hear them on the radio. Never hear them on the radio. They always wear out. You know how that goes. They wear out. They put songs in the radio and they just wear them out. Just play the same song again and again. You're sick of hearing it. I strike you as a Led Zeppelin guy. Well, I do have every Led Zeppelin studio album, And my favorite one, I know you're going to ask, my favorite one is Presence, 1976. Dean Force's Morning, y'all, from North Carolina Beer Man, incognito here. Hello, Dean Ford. All right, well, that's it. So the winner, but it's a qualified win, and it's almost like a loss. Dewar's 15-year age wins by virtue of tasting better, but it loses by virtue of it's no way $29 better. Sorry, Dewars. I don't work for Dewars, meaning I don't work for Bacardi International. On the other hand, I don't work for Clan MacGregor, and I've never been given anything free from either company. Not to say I would turn it down, and I've never asked for anything, but I have never been given anything. All right, my friend David was making a joke the other day. You're never going to get anything from that company. I said, guess how much I've gotten from them so far? He said, I said, yeah, nothing. And I wasn't looking to get anything. I have money. I have a job. I can afford product. Well, maybe I could afford products before January of 2021, but now it's like in this worst economy ever situation, maybe not. Beatles' favorite drink was J&B and Coca-Cola. I've heard you say that before. I believe you said that. I've never read that anywhere, but I guess that's true. Okay, well, thanks, everybody. I think the Beatles were more beer people, though, right? All right, but anyway, thanks, everybody. Y'all take care now.